All right. We are back again and we are pumping out these videos like crazy. But the Beeb is back with a gem this time. This is something that none of you guys thought about. And I don't think anyone's ever brought this up in any video in regards to this topic. And Fanon, no disrespect to you. I don't know if you brought it up. I didn't hear you bring it up. You're a lawyer. So I don't know if you brought this up. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe you know about this, maybe you don't. I would assume you do know about this because you went to law school. And this is why college, sometimes I would say to myself, why the fuck did I go to college? What am I actually using with the stuff I learned in college? How am I applying it to my everyday life? But I did take a business law class in college. And I was thinking to myself, let me go back and look at the chapters that talked about contracts. Trying to, kind of dig for something in terms of this rematch clause, basically to see if Andy Ruiz could challenge this rematch clause, or at least challenge some of the terms in this rematch clause. Now, here's the thing: people are comparing this Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman situation with this fight. Everyone knows Lennox Lewis sued Hasim Rahman because Hasim Rahman just wanted to get out of the rematch clause. He signed with Don King. Don King wanted him to fight David Izon, and after that, he wanted him to fight Mike Tyson. So he was basically trying to get Hasim Rahman ready for a Mike Tyson fight and just circumvent Lennox Lewis altogether. So that was a kind of a different story, and that went to Supreme Court. That rematch didn't end up happening until like 7 months later. So kind of got dragged out a little bit, not too long. The rematch ended up happening, but the repercussions of that, if that fight didn't happen, was Rahman would have been shelved for 18 months. But that's because he decided to just void the contract, not even honor it at all. Now, in this situation, Andy Ruiz isn't saying that he doesn't want to fight Joshua again. So, he and his side appear to want to negotiate in good faith. So if they sit down and they try to work out details, and maybe some things aren't in there like Eddie Hearn could have put, and most likely did put, he gets to choose the location. He gets to, he could have even put in, how much Ruiz is going to get in the rematch. I don't know if that's true. That's something else I'm hearing. But here's the thing. There's one thing in law called an unconscionable contract. And I'm going to read to you out of my trusty business law book that I had to dust off. But I'm going to read to you what an unconscionable contract is. An unconscionable contract is one that is so one-sided that it is unfair to one party and therefore unenforceable under law. It is a type of contract that leaves one party with no real meaningful choice, usually due to major differences in bargaining power between the parties. In a lawsuit, if the court finds a contract to be unconscionable, they typically declare the contract to be void. No damages award or specific performance will be issued, but instead the parties will be released from their contract obligations. Very interesting. Very interesting. This seems to me on the surface to maybe fall underneath that. So if this does end up getting dragged out and ends up going to court, this is something that could be used here. And Al Heyman is a smart guy. Andy Ruiz has a great advisor. And when asked questions, he did say, well, we still have to go and talk to Al Heyman. And even Eddie Hearn himself had said, he's a smart guy too. He wanted to have this wrapped up by the end of the week. Well, now he's realizing that maybe it's going to take a little bit longer. Now he's saying in 2 weeks. I'm not so sure this thing gets done in 2 weeks either, because I have a sneaky suspicion. Again, this is my opinion, which I'm free to have. I'm free to have my opinion. So I don't want any people say to B, well, how do you know? Because I don't have to know shit to have an opinion. I can have an opinion on anything. And I have an opinion on this. I don't think this fight is going to get wrapped up and announced in 2 weeks. Again, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will admit I was wrong. But I don't think this rematch will be wrapped up in 2 weeks. So let's get back to this. What makes a contract unconscionable? A contract may be found unconscionable based on 3 different factors. First factor, undue influence. This is where one party exercises unreasonable pressure in order to get the other party to sign the contract, especially when one party takes advantage of the other in some way. Eddie Hearn, that wouldn't fit the description of an Eddie Hearn contract, would it? Okay, duress. This is where one party uses threats in order to get the other to agree to the contract terms. This can take the form of physical threats or other types of threats, such as not releasing goods in the proper way to the other party signs. Whatever. That's not a factor in this. Unequal bargaining power. This one's interesting. This occurs when one party has an unreasonable advantage over the other. This is usually proved if one party is aware that the other obviously did not understand the contract terms. Okay. One part of that contract really sticks out, doesn't it? Unreasonable advantage. Meaning you still make more. That's kind of unreasonable. You still make more even if you lose. It's unreasonable. Okay. Unfair surprise. When the party who creates the contract includes a term in the contract without the other party's knowledge and is not within the other party's expectations. That one's kind of interesting too. That one might have a little bit of merit there, no? Andy Ruiz could have said, well, you know what? They rushed me to sign the contract. I didn't understand all the terms. We had to get this fight done fast. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Still has people going over the terms with him. He's got an advisor, got lawyers, whatever. But, they were rushed kind of, right? They had under the circumstances, which was understandable. Limited warranties is the final one. Contract would be unconscionable if one party tries to limit their liability to breach a contract or to any damages that he may incur on the other party. Okay. So what are some examples of unconscionable contracts? Okay. Typical example of an unconscionable contract is where one party is an experienced dealer in a type of business, while the other party is an average consumer. Suppose that the business dealer requires that the consumer sign a contract. Within that contract, they have buried very complicated technical language. So a lot of this contract is going to depend on how the terms were worded too. You could say that, the way these terms are worded, I didn't understand them, or how do you enforce this? Like it's very vague, some of the terms in this contract, basically. Okay. So the business dealer used very small font and inserted the clause in a way that would purposely mislead the consumer into signing on unfair terms. In this case, the contract might be declared unconscionable due to unequal bargaining power between the parties, and the fact that one party used their knowledge and expertise to take advantage of the other. If the court finds the contract unconscionable, it will be declared void and unenforceable. What is an unconscionable contract compared to an illegal contract? An unconscionable contract is not the same as an illegal contract. An illegal contract is one that is against the law because the subject matter of the contract is illegal. An example of this is a contract that seeks to address illegal gambling matters. In comparison, an unconscionable contract may not be illegal in terms of the subject matter, but instead be unenforceable due to the circumstances in which the contract was entered into by the parties. In other words, a perfectly legal contract might be considered unconscionable based on the way one party obtained the other's signature. Okay. So here's the thing. Do I need a lawyer if I have a dispute involving unconscionable contracts? Unconscionable contracts can be can present many legal difficulties. You may wish to hire a contract lawyer if you have any legal disputes or questions. Okay, blah 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 blah. So we kind of get the message here. An unconscionable contract basically is a contract that is overly one-sided and unfair to one party, and one party has a very, very large advantage over the other. This contract could possibly be interpreted that way. Really? Really? So that this contract could be interpreted that way. So the thing is this. This is the thing. Ruiz is not saying that he's not going to fight Joshua in a rematch. It's not saying that. It's not saying that at all. But what happens if they have problems with the terms of the contract? What if they don't want to agree to everything? What if they want to make amendments to some of these points in the contract? What happens? What happens? This thing could get dragged out. This thing could take a long time to get wrapped up, at the negotiating table. This thing could go to court. They could try to say this is an unconscionable contract. They could say that. They could say that. So, it's very, very interesting what is going to transpire in the weeks coming to see how this fight gets wrapped up. Because I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to be a skeptic. But when you hear Ruiz say things like, I call the shots, I want 50 million if the fight's in the UK, and we have to still go back and talk to my team, we have to talk to Al Heyman, he's being counseled here. You know that. We know that. That's one thing. That's one thing that we could probably make a fair assumption on. So that's the thing. It's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's just going to be interesting to see if this thing does go to court, and then the team Ruiz could say, well, we did try to renegotiate the rematch in good faith, but we just could not come to terms. But also, the zone really wants this fight. Anthony Joshua really wants this fight. And credit to Anthony Joshua for his statements saying that, you know what, why should this fight be in the UK? Then people are going to think that that I need an advantage to go back to the UK. I'm the challenger again. I got to earn it, basically. I'm paraphrasing, but that's more or less what he said. I got to earn it. I got to earn it. Exactly, D-Star. Excellent point. Lewis wasn't wanting the rematch in the UK. Very, 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 very good point, D-Star. Outstanding. So, again, good thing here is that the zone wants this fight in the United States. Anthony Joshua seems to indicate that he wants this fight back in the United States, in New York preferably. He's still in New York. He loves the American culture. He rented a house out here, and he's still out playing basketball, interacting with people on the streets. And I will say one thing about this whole event. People are going to shit on this event. This wasn't a total loss for Anthony Joshua, because a lot of people are buzzing about this fight. A lot of people are still buzzing. A lot of people are still buzzing about how great this event was. And I think this was a great event. And a lot of people are still fans of Anthony Joshua. And I think he's even made American. The way he ended this fight, people could say, oh, he quit, whatever. Fuck that shit. He did show class in losing. And, a lot of people basically admired the way he was so gracious in defeat. People are out there talking to him on the basketball court. Hey, man, don't lose to any more fat guys. You know what I'm saying? They were like joking around with him and stuff. So I think he's endeared himself to a good portion of the American fans over here. I really do. I really do. I think that I think this whole event wasn't a total loss because they sold out the Garden. They put on a great card and they put on a great fight. This fight had drama. Okay. And now people want to see. Everyone loves a comeback story. Everyone loves a comeback story. You know, and Anthony Joshua wants to be that warrior. He wants to be that guy. He said, I want to right the wrong. And I want to go back where it all occurred and correct it. I want to go back and correct it. And he even said this out of his own mouth in another interview. And I should have put that link in there. But he said, if I don't erase my demons, then they will haunt me forever. So if he doesn't come back here to New York and beat Andy Ruiz, and instead goes to the UK, it will haunt him forever. His words. His words. And he also said, same exact thing that I said yesterday. Same exact thing I said yesterday. People will think that I need an advantage if I go back to the UK. People will question it. And again, does it matter I don't think it matters what people think. Yes, it does matter what people think. Because in the grand scheme of things, from a business standpoint, well, even from a business standpoint, it would hurt the event. It would lose money. It would not make as much money in the UK that it would make in the United States. But if the goal is just to get the belts back, which is what Eddie Hearn wants to do, that's why he wants to go to the UK, because he believes it's an advantage. So if the goal is just to get the belts back, that's great. But what about repairing the guy's reputation? What about repairing the guy's persona? What about ensuring the perception is that he doesn't need an advantage to win? That he could come over to America like he planned to do, like we planned to do, and he can be that crossover star. So to just disregard and discount and ignore all of that. I don't think it matters. How the fuck can it not matter when the fighter himself is telling you it's going to matter? He's telling you it's going to fucking haunt him for the rest of his career. How the fuck can it not matter? How the fuck can it not matter? It does matter. It does matter. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, it does fucking matter. So that's just it, man. That's just it. So I want you guys to, I'm going to put a link to the Unconscionable contract in there because there's a link online too that can help explain what this Unconscionable contract is. So if you guys want to educate yourself on that. Hey, thank you, JM, thank you. I'm not going to say that because I think we're the #1 podcast in the world. But thank you for the super chat. That's fine. No disrespect, but I mean, gonna have to pay me a lot more than that if I'm gonna endorse somebody. No disrespect. And shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. I mean, they grind, man. They grind. I'm not gonna disrespect them. Shout out to them. But I'm not gonna shout them out if they don't shout me out. If they shout me out, then hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I'm not gonna shout anyone else out. I'm not gonna shout. Give me 100 spot and I'll shout them out. Give me 100 spot, I'll shout them out. But no disrespect. There's no disrespect. They grind, they travel, they do. My man does the work. He gets no disrespect here. We had a problem. That's our problem. Whatever. That's done with. We move on. We move on. We move on. But you're here for a reason, though, brother. You're here for a reason, brother, because what I'm saying right now must mean something to you, too. What I'm saying must mean something to you, too, brother. That's why you're here. All right. So the big question is, how long will it take to get this fight done? And if they're shooting for that November date, which is 5 months away, guys. 5 months away. Now, keep in mind, the Lennox Lewis rematch didn't take place until seven months later. And that was just a one-punch knockout. Lennox Lewis, he wasn't concussed. He knew where he was. He didn't forget what punch knocked him out. It was a much, much different circumstance. So, even Manny Pacquiao, when he got knocked out by Marquez, he took about 11 months off because that was a vicious knockout. This knockout, I think, this whole fight, I think, was a very taxing fight. A very taxing fight on Anthony Joshua. So again, not to keep repeating myself, but will the 5-month grace period be enough time for him to recover? Will that be enough time for him to recover? That's a big question. That's a big question mark. That is a big question mark. I have a feeling this fight's probably going to happen either in December or January. I don't think it's going to happen in November. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think a fight of this magnitude is going to get wrapped up that quickly, number one. And number two, why rush it? Why rush it? Why rush it? That's the problem. D-Star, I mean, you can let him say DAZN. It doesn't bother me. Does it bother anybody in the chat that this guy says DAZN? I know he is spamming, but I mean that's his shtick. You know what I'm saying? That's his shtick. I mean, he's not putting links in there or anything like that. He's just putting DAZN in there. That's fine. He could put that in there. Let him. That's okay, man. He likes doing that shit. Let him get his rocks off. Let him get his rocks off. That's fine. He could do that. I don't have a problem with him doing that. It doesn't bother me. But you are right. He does spam sometimes, but fuck it. We're used to it over here. That's his deal. You know what I mean? That's his deal. That's what he likes to do. So let him do it. Go ahead, H Money. You can do it. You can do it, H Money. No problem. We ain't gonna hate on the DAZN, bro. So that's it, guys. I mean, November, a little too quick. Negotiations, just don't think everything's going to be agreed on. And I think Eddie Hearn knows that possibly some alterations and adjustments are going to have to be made for this contract. So I just think it's going to be very interesting to see how this all thing plays out. I know I said that about 3,000 times already, but it's the fucking truth. It's the fucking truth. Something that cannot be overlooked, guys. This is going to be a very interesting negotiations because you have two sides that are polarizing, really. You have Eddie Hearn and you have Al Heyman. You got the PBC versus DAZN. I'm sure the fight's going to be on DAZN. I don't think there's a question about that. But who knows? Maybe Al Heyman's going to challenge that too. Is there anything in the contract that says the fight has to be on DAZN? Larry Merchant, you will never get a wrench. Ever. You're lucky you're not blocked. Just be thankful I haven't. I'm like the only channel on here that hasn't blocked you. And you know what's so funny? You're a glutton for punishment. After that fucking thrashing I gave you earlier in the day, you still came back. You must be a masochist, dude. I lit you up earlier, questioned your manhood, and you still came back. You've been working hard on this channel. What have you done? Do you tweet out the show? Do you promote the show? What have you been done besides troll? Have you ever given us a super chat? You haven't even given us $1. You should give me $1 every video I make just for not blocking you. just for not blocking you. You should at least give me $1 every fucking video that you're on. Just for the fact that I don't block you. Because I'm not going to lie, you are an irritating motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The shit you say is just fucking, it's just too, there comes a point, right? There comes a point where, like, when someone says, like, the stupidity level of somebody's comments, after a while, it wears on you. It really does. It really does. You know what I'm saying? It really does. What do you mean you tried to super chat? I mean, you need a fucking a Google account. You could fucking super chat. Anyone could super chat, bro. Anyone could super chat. You know, we're still trying to get Robbie that the zone, man. We trying to have that super chat fucking the zone fund for Robbie, bro. I got a new phone. Get the fuck out of here, dude. All right, man. I'm not gonna keep busting your balls. I'm starting to feel guilty now. I keep riding you, man. I'll leave you alone, bro. I'll leave you. You guys gonna come back tonight at 11 when we do the live cast for the Golovkin fight? Guys gonna come back? Check us out. Golovkin versus Steve Rolls. Imagine if fucking Steve Rolls wins tonight. Imagine if Steve Rolls wins. You know what's funny though? I'm gonna be honest with you. I never didn't want to see. Thank you, Georgie. I never didn't want to see Golovkin, Canelo 3. Thank you, Focus Guy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Anytime, guys. Thank you, Georgie. It wasn't like I didn't like Golovkin, Canelo 3, but I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't crazy excited about it, but now I'm starting to get excited about it again. I'm really starting to get excited about the third fight again. I really am. I really am. I'll be honest with you. Because you know what it is? It's like after you see a couple good fights in a row, then you start getting excited again, like for other matchups. You know? Box with straight right said, I'm in the UK staying asleep unless my baby wakes me up. We'll listen in the morning. All right, no doubt. Thank you, bro. But yeah, so I am getting excited about this third fight again. I really am. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. Because you know what it is, too? Like Canelo, I mean, he beat Jacobs, but it was, I don't like what happened in the second half of that fight. Thank you, Rock Noop. I don't like, what do I think of Rolls? I don't think he's going to present too many problems tonight. I don't think he has the power. I don't think he is strong enough to really hurt Triple G. I don't think he's fast enough. I think it's going to be a problem for him tonight. I think Triple G is going to take care of him on the inside, man. Rather see Alvarez Charlo? Yeah. I'd rather see Alvarez Andre, really, to be honest with you. But the thing about Alvarez is he still has that problem sometimes in the second half of the fight. He let Jacobs back in that fight. Like I thought that fight was close because of him letting his foot off the gas pedal late in the fight. Got off to a great start in that fight. But here's the other elephant in the room, that knee brace. You know, he's wearing that knee brace every fight now, and I don't think, Triple G didn't seem to want to fight Charlo. That's no question about that. There's no question about that, Mr. Enigma, Cali Enigma. Shout out to Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment. Yeah, he didn't seem too anxious to want to fight Charlo. He really didn't. I like it. That's my. The fight I really want to see is Alvarez versus Callum Smith at super middleweight. That's the fight I'm most excited about, to be very honest with you. But I'm starting to get excited about this Golovkin fight too, because he got a new trainer now. He looked phenomenal at the weigh-in yesterday. I know it's not a bodybuilding contest, but physically he looked the best I've ever seen him in a long time. He was shredded. And Canelo, let's see if he can fix that problem of fading in the second half of the fight. And let's see if that knee can hold up and not get any worse. Let's see if that knee can hold up and not get any worse. That's something we need to really take a look at. So at the end of the day, it could be interesting. It could be, one thing though. I hope we just get a decisive winner this time. And I really, really, really fucking hope the fight's in Madison Square Garden. I really do. I mean, Canelo's been there. He fought Fielding at the Madison Square Garden. So why not go back and fight Golovkin at the Madison Square Garden? I mean, why not? Why not? You know, why not? That's the thing. Thank you, Cali Enigma. Shout out to you. Peace out. Peace, brother. Much respect, bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Carnival says GGG has fought tough fighters and title holders. Charlo has fought literally nobody. But I mean, let's be honest. We have to admit Charlo can fight, man. Let's not disrespect Charlo. Let's not try to write Charlo off. Let's not try to write Charlo off. We know the dude can fight. We know the dude can fight, man. H Money, shout out to the Zone, man. They're putting on a great second half of fights this year. From May moving forward, the schedule is really good, man. It's a really good schedule. Couple unification showdowns coming up too on the Zone. Regis Prograis, Josh Kelly, Inoue versus Donaire. I know, bro. You know what's? I got some good news for you. We are gonna we got some we're gonna be purchasing some equipment, and I'm gonna start hooking up the Skype here eventually when we get that equipment. And what we're gonna do is even when I start doing these hangouts, I'm probably gonna allow people to Skype in if they want. So when that's the case, even when I do these, even when I do these types of shows, and not just on the just not on the Sunday shows where the blog talk is hooked up, I may not hooked up. Oh, if you give me an email address, email me. I'll start sending you links. You can jump on if you want. I don't mind you jumping on. Send me your email. Send me your email address or email me. Email me. Go to the email on this channel, the contact information on this channel. Just email me your email address. Let me know it's H Money, and then I can start sending you links. I don't have a problem doing that. It's no problem. It's no problem. Centurion Son says, yeah, set up Skype for Eddie Hearn to call from the UK. Yeah. I mean, one good thing about Eddie Hearn, I mean, not just one good thing. I'm sure there's a lot of good things about Eddie Hearn, even though I get pissed at him when he fucks around with his bullshit sometimes. He's out there trying to promote his fighters. He's out there trying to promote boxing. He's doing a lot of interviews, and a lot of people say, oh, you know what? That's just because he's an egomaniac. He loves the camera, blah, 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 blah. But he is trying to push his brand. He is trying to help promote the sport of boxing. And I like a guy that's not afraid to put himself out there, man. My email's on the it's on the when you go to the about. Should be the contact information should be there when it's the about. I mean, I don't mind. I'll put it in the chat for you if you guys want. I'll just give you my email in the chat. I don't mind you guys have my email. Here it is. I got the email on this channel is a little different, but that's the email I use mostly. You guys want to write that down, you can email me anytime. I don't have a problem with that. Do not have a problem with that. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna get a lot of spam now. I don't know. We'll see. I could block it if I want. Sky don't mind charging us for pay-per-view 4 in the morning, but no GGG. Oh, you guys don't have GGG on pay-per-view tonight? Fucking guys, you don't have GGG on pay-per-view tonight? What, a BT Sport don't have it either, Larry Merchant? BT Sport's not putting it on? Really? That's fucked up. Oh, you guys do have it? Is it on Sky? It's not a pay-per-view, is it? It's on Sky pay-per-view. They're putting GGG versus Scott Rolls on Sky pay-per-view. The countries that have the zone have. Yeah, I know that. But what about UK people? UK people going to be able to see Golovkin? No, it's not. So you guys can't watch it at all, huh? See what your boy Eddie does to you, man? See what your boy Eddie does to you? He gives us the fights. He gives us the fights for virtually nothing. And you guys either don't get it, or when you do get it, you gotta pay for it on Sky. That's fucked up. That's your boy Eddie Hearn for you, man. That's your boy Eddie Hearn. That's your boy Eddie Hearn. What do you think about that? Think about your boy Eddie Hearn. All right, guys. I think I am going to wrap this up. But we will be doing the show tonight, the live cast, and always check out the Sunday show, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, every Sunday night. Me, Eric, and Ringside Robert. Check out the Mega Fit meals in the link in the description box. Click the link for the Ringside Reporter t-shirt. Support the channel. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Share the video and all that good stuff, man. All right, till later tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and see you soon. Take care, everybody.